Okay, we have our Oak Ridge Estates drainage improvements. And next slide, please. So our agenda here is we are going to start off with the introduction, and then we're going to have our community overview and challenges. We're going to have the hydrologic analysis, our proposed drainage improvements, the economic analysis, the environmental and community impacts, with the debate and stakeholder feedbacks after that. And we're going to wrap it up here with the conclusion and the recommendations afterwards. And then we have our meeting introduction here with the members of the meeting. It is the engineer of record is Ned. The decision maker is myself, Isaac. The business society is Dat. The civil society is played as Ben, and the local resident is Sajad. Sajad, sorry. We have the overview of Oak Ridge Estates. The location of it, it's in Central Florida. It's a suburban community, and it's residential neighborhood with pretty much single family homes. It's a pretty small community though, with primarily that's families. So it's a very relatively small population. And then it's a flat terrain with streets, yards, and green spaces for the geography. And it's pretty close to Lake Jessamine with schools and parks and shopping around. The climate is pretty subtropical and humid with very hot summers and mild winters. And then our next slide here is the community map. And we have it as you see the baseball field on the right, and we have the all the neighborhoods all around it, which is the primarily the family homes that surround. And then the next slide here is the project, the proposed project we have here. It is to install more curb inlets in addition to the ones already there. We're going to be optimizing spillway channels. We're going to add in basins for retention and detention of water and reduce sediment loads. Going to adjust the grading and elevation. We're going to go more in depth later in the presentation on each of these points in the engineering. Now, I'm going to give it to Ned, who is the engineer of record.
Good evening, everybody. I am proposing an improvement for the existing drainage system at the Oak Ridge Estates community. And I'll be talking about some hydrologic analysis that I've done. The main issues are low elevations causing water stagnation and pooling from moderate to significant rain events due to insufficient elevations. Also, there's a lack of curb inlets to accommodate and manage the runoff effectively in these low-lying areas. I'll be going over flood zones. We'll look at a flood map from FEMA to highlight the problem areas that are frequently flooding. Also, we'll be talking about the spillway channel running adjacent to the community that's transferring most of the water to Lake Jessamine, but may not be functioning properly and optimally. Here you can see the drainage map done with ArcGIS that shows contour lines with current elevations. Elevations range from 30 feet and they go down to about 29. You can see the little red dots are where the existing curb inlets are placed to accommodate, and they run underground to the adjacent channel to the right. And let's see. So obviously there's some streets here that are missing curb inlets and they're not able to accommodate the water runoff to the channel, causing the water pooling and stagnation. Here's a flood map from FEMA showing this is a year-round flood zone, problematic with 2 to 3 feet of flooding, even in moderate rain events. The main benefits to stakeholders would be eliminating and mitigating flood risks and improve the safety and quality of the residents' life. Significant long-term cost savings would be outweighing the initial investments, which we'll go in a little bit more detail about the cost. The water quality would improve with the retention basins. And I'll hand it over
All
to
right,
Sajad.
Ben. All right, guys, I'm gonna talk about the a plan action to address these problems to achieve some specific goals in here. So we did some uh, curb inlet installations. We add and we connected to the stormwater pipe network as well. And we regrade low areas to improve water flow. So we use some fill materials for elevations when needed. So also some spillways optimization. So we optimize some spillways and we widen the channel for higher capacity and spillways flow. And then we install some upstreams for certain storms, stormwater that comes. And then we use some vegetations to reduce some sediments and support water quality. For our projects, so the initial cost, the survey and design cost us around $50,000 to $100,000, and the curb inlets between 5 to 10 units is around 20,000 to 100,000. For the grading, it costs us around 50,000 to 150,000. The spillways modification that we did, it's around 50,000 to 200,000. So it's the retention basins, so it's around 100,000 to 250,000. So very much the in the estimate for the whole uh, project cost for this installations cost, it costs us around like $270,000 to $800,000. So it's very much that's an average that we're gonna spend for this unit. Plus for the next person. So the maintenance, there's a cleaning inlet, spillway 2,000, 10,000, sediment control around. It's avoided flood damage like around 500 to 1.5 million over 10 years, and then the insurance premium reduction between 10% to 20%.
Okay, so now we have our debate between the remaining parties here, which was and the engineer and our business society and our local resident. And we're going to start off here with Sajad, who is our local resident.
Hello everyone, I will be focusing on the role and experience of the resident of Oak Ridge Estate in our proposed drainage project. The residents are the key stakeholders in this project as they are directly affected by the current challenges and stand to benefit the most from the improvement we propose. Next slide. The resident of Orchid Estates faces several challenges due to the current drainage system. Frequent flooding affect driveway, yards, and streets, disrupt, disrupting daily life and causing inconvenience for homeowners. This flooding leads to property damage, particularly from stagnant water that can weaken structures and damage landscaping. On top of this, there is a significant economic burden. Homeowners experience higher repair costs from repeated flooding incidents and increased insurance premium due to the area risk designation. Finally, there are health and safety concerns. Standing water become a breeding ground for mosquitoes, increasing the risk of disease. Flooding also poses safety hazards, making streets and yards dangerous during heavy rains. These challenges underline the urgent need for effective drainage solution to improve the resident quality of life. Next.
Okay, so now we are going to introduce our business community, who is our representative of DAP.
Good evening, members of council and everyone. My name is Dan, and I come here to represent the local businesses in this community. We have no objection to the proposal as far as what are being built. However, if you are shutting the water off, let us know ahead of time. If you are closing the road, we request that there are to be alternative temporary routes that people can use to get to our stores. And we have a main condition to not have any of our storefront blocked. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, so based on that, as I am the decision maker, seeing all the facts here, I feel like our engineer of record has came up with a very good improvement proposal plan. I feel like there's going to be less flooding in this area as that is the key issue, and it can help with the removal of sediments and maybe help vegetation all around. And we will be picking that this is the correct thing to do for this place. Thank you.
And I'd like to add on to this, as far as the traffic control, there will be temporary traffic control that will have access to all the local businesses and also to the residents that live in the area will have access to their homes on without any road closure, just alternate routes. So it should run along pretty smooth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.